which tower is designed the best, the most balanced, the coolest looking, the most fun to play with, etc., etc. I asked you guys to vote, and you guys did vote. You voted for 4 towers. You voted for the ninja, the druid, the wizard, and the heli pilot. And then I decided to dive even deeper than that, down to the deep end, trying to get clams or something from, 100 feet down. Hold my breath, getting the bends while in the process. I asked you guys to vote for your favorite of these 4. And you guys voted for the wizard. The wizard is the most well-designed, coolest, and most fun to play with tower in all of Bloons Tower Defense 6, according to you guys, which I thought was really, really cool. So then I decided to go a step deeper, and I didn't actually ask you guys this, but I really quickly want to predict that your favorite tower upgrades is this. The only one that I'm not entirely sure of is I'm guessing that Master Bomber might not be the answer for some people, and they're thinking probably Grandmaster Ninja, but if you think that, it's probably because you haven't played around with the Master Bomber a lot, and he's really, really good and really fun to play with if you use him right. So I figured, you know what? Let's play chimps with these guys. Let's try to get these 4 towers in a real game on chimps mode. I don't know if that's possible. We might run out of money, but let's at least try. Playing Ravine today, which I also played in a previous video, but it's because I'm actually beating things. I just beat Impoppable, which I hadn't beaten before, and now we're moving up into chimps mode, which I have not beaten yet, so I'll get 600 delicious monkey dollars if we end up succeeding in actually beating this one. Hopefully this all goes well. I think starting off, Sawdust should be able to clean these balloons up for a little while. Round 9 might be a little tricky, but by that point we'll have either a druid or a ninja. I would rather save up for a ninja, but if I need to build a druid, I will. Now, I do really want to go for the black chimps medal here, so if I end up having any doubts on my defense, I probably, and just to be sure, I probably will play the safer route. I'll do what I think is actually better in that situation. And if we don't get the black chimps medal, I'll be a little sad, but at the very least, we can at least clean up the chimps medal all regularly like. But what I want to do is I want to try to get those 4 towers. And those guys are actually really weird and somewhat difficult to get, not even all that effective in chimps mode necessarily. So let's work together here and see if we can figure out how to make that happen in the most efficient and effective way possible. So to be honest, I could have started with any tower, or any hero, but I started off with Sada for one reason in particular. I don't think a ninja start would have worked, and I don't think a druid start would have worked. Unless I did some sort of druid dart monkey start, but that would just ruin the fun for me. So I decided to go for Sada just because I know she's going to be a good starting tower, and I know that these guys are actually pretty good late-game towers, so the better early game we have, the better game we're going to have. So that's kind of the plan here. I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to make sure I get all 4 base towers here on the screen at the very least before I do anything fancier than that. So here we go. We've got all 4 towers here. I think that if I plan this out... Yeah, let's do that. I think that I planned it out so I can still fit a village in here if I need it, and that's a big if, because I'm not entirely sure if I go for a bottom path wizard, if that's just going to be enough cam detection for us, specifically if we have another ninja on top of all of that. But I already have the upgrades kind of planned out for us. I don't know, things are just going really good right now. These are some pretty good towers, and we're playing at a reasonably easy map, so it's not like we don't have to do anything super fancy or super crazy or anything like that. But I got something kind of fun to tell you guys. I had a really crazy dream last night that, I don't know if I would call it I'm hoping that I can remember all the details, but I remember during the dream, I was like, this is freaking crazy, dude. This is, mind-blowingly ridiculous. And it was very long and drawn out, which doesn't normally happen for my dreams. I've had some crazy dreams in the past, and this is one of, the toppest, craziest dreams, just because of how normal it starts, and then it just gets crazier and crazier as time goes on. But anyways, we need to make sure we got lead popping power here, so, let's, I don't think I'll be able to afford the Razor Rotors, so I think I need to go for... Dang, I think I gotta go for my Hard Thorns here. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Hard Thorns, I guess just because I'm gonna go Heart of the Thunder. Not that it's actually gonna be a good long-term tower, but it's gonna be a good right now-ish tower. And the lightning can jump above the walls here, so it doesn't even matter for that thing. And then we'll also go for the Thorn Swarm just because we're there. We're gonna get the Heart of Oak, so we don't have to worry about regen balloons ever again. And I'm actually gonna go, believe it or not, for the Druid of the Jungle already. Doesn't help against the Moa, but it does help against a lot of the stronger balloons, which are gonna be coming out very quick here. So I think we're good until about 40. Once we get the Druid of the Jungle, and then we'll make some plans for that Moab. In case you're curious, it looks pretty tight, but I definitely can fit a village inside of here, and that will put, if I get the bigger radius, every single tower in the range here. But I'm really going to try to not waste any money, And, you know, obviously Jungle Drums is such a small amount of money. Builds with Jungle Drums is just like such a small amount of money for the bonuses that you gain. But if we're really that tight on affording all of these towers, and I didn't do the math on it, by the way. I could have easily jumped to the page that basically tells you how much money you're going to make on Chimps mode. But I didn't do that. And we're just going with the flow and seeing what we can make happen. All right, this is going to be pretty tight here. I kind of put a lot of everything in one waterfall, basically. I want my sticky bomb. $5,400 if I can't afford my sticky bomb. I have no idea what we're going to do. I think Soda might be able to just jump on it. Oh, we got the money. We got the money. Don't even need to think about anything else. We got the money by $500. And sticky bomb should just blow this thing up. And then we're just going to jump on the ceramics just to clean them up. Check this out. One sticky bomb. Kablamo, kablamo. That's the power of timing and abilities. We could have easily jumped on it with Soda right at the very beginning. And the sticky bomb wouldn't have actually done his real work here. And just kind of wasted a bunch of money and stuff. So this guy is actually our first 4th tier of the day. We got a freaking sticky bomb, but the next upgrade is $43,200. That is not affordable. Not even remotely affordable. So we have to switch our strategy up. We have to go for another 4th tier. We're going to go for an unpopped army. This guy's going to give us that cam detection that I know that I needed, and also a pretty significant amount of popping power here. As far as combos go, I think I am going to go for the guided magic. It's not like super duper important for me, but maybe some sort of wall-seeking action will happen, and it'll just help us out. So, yeah, we're just going to go for it. Plus, the wall of fire in the backpack here could help me out a tiny bit. Just doesn't feel worth it right now. Also, in addition, I am going to move this guy up to about here. I want these balloons to be walking basically right up to here. That's where I'd love them to be. Okay, they're stopping here. Let's move them up a little bit further. Let's put it right there. Let's see what happens. You know what? Yeah, I don't know. That's too risky. Let's put it back here. Wherever they get to from this spot is good enough for me. And I think we're good for a long time. I'll probably see you guys back by around like 60 or something, because I just think that we're going to be actually doing really, really good. This guy does the Moabs. This guy does the balloons. And we got a little bit of extra help from everybody else. We're golden. So I told you guys we'd be rocking for a while here. Indeed, we are. We are pretty much dominating. There's no question about it. There's been 0 balloons that have even been, like, remotely close to sneaking through my defense. Basically, nothing has gotten past this zone right here, and that's about halfway through the map. And even less for the Moabs. So, like, whoa. This is going freaking amazing. And believe it or not, I have $26,000 saved up. So, it made me think for a quick second here. Do people actually think that these are the most well-designed, most interesting, and fun towers to play with? Or do they just think they're the best? And it's very clear that they are just the best, and that's why people like them. Good question. I could not tell you the answer to that, but I do have some thoughts on it. I think maybe. At least that might be a leading factor in why people vote for certain things. In fact, what I have noticed is that anything that requires micro, people don't like, and anything that is just automatically pretty good and been consistently good, just to get us an automatic upvote, no matter what it is. Whether it's cool looking, fun to play with, or stupidest tower, or whatever, people just vote for it just because it's something familiar and cool, I guess. So we got round 63, still going super duper well. Apache Dartship is one of those towers that I honestly don't often go for, but it's pretty powerful. I get why people like this this tower. There's really nothing wrong with it, especially if you get in the mid game. If you get in the late game, around 80 plus, like, okay, of course, he's gonna fall off a little bit, but for right now, he's pretty dominant. And still, 0 questions about my stability. I feel like we're going to dominate all the way through at least the mid-70s. And by that point, hopefully we got some money. Hopefully we can make some more cool plays happen. I'll be straight with you. I don't know which upgrade I would like to go for next, but if I have to decide between a $43,000 tower and a $48,000 tower, this is the guy I'm going for. If I can afford this, Apache Prime is the freaking answer, man. Just like, whoa. One of the best towers in the game, by far. Extreme MOA popping power, great balloon popping power. There is another answer here, which is definitely on teetering on the edge here, is Prince of Darkness. He's cheap, $28,000. You know, I mean, we're looking at $20,000 less than this guy, $16,000 less than this guy. Like, well, of course, Prince of Darkness is a good answer here, but he does have his slight weaknesses. Round 80, round 100, and I don't know. Like, sometimes you could run into some issues with that. So, anyways, I feel comfy enough. We'll see you guys back on like 75 or something. I love to show off round 75 because it's the first round that often kills me. I usually am like struggling to save up the money that I need to make something happen around 75, and then you get double VFBs and even more than that coming out right after that. Lots of balloons on the inside here, guys. Looks like this time around with an Apache Dartship combo, though, it's gonna go down. And I think 76 should be just as easy here, I believe. In fact, oh my god, look at that one vine. If there's ever one tower you should use in round 76, it's the frickin' Druid of the Jungle, bro. One Druid, one vine popped out of the ground, de-regened every single ceramic there. Like, for the amount of money you spent at this guy, that's absurd. And we didn't even need the Heart of the Thunder or the Hard Thorns. Just, what is that, $2,000 to stop round 76 in its tracks? Now, that's weird, because, like, normally you wouldn't build a Druid of the Jungle on round 76. But if it was killing you and you just needed you had $2,000 to make it happen, that's the answer. All right, specifically if you're trying to save up for something even bigger and beefier, like right at that exact moment. All right, round 77 here. We're definitely getting much, much further. And don't forget, Apache Starship doesn't have that black popping power, so once you get rid of the balloons kind of like right, or the popping power right next to him, he can start to struggle. Because the missiles do a lot of the damage, not the darts here. And you really have to work together there. So we've got, ooh boy. We've got to save up another $10,000 to make this happen. That might happen around 79 to get our Apache Prime. Again, alternatively, Prince of Darkness, a reasonable possibility. Master Bomber, also a possibility. But I really don't like that idea because I really feel like affording an Apache Prime after that is going to be really tricky. Because Apache Prime is going to carry us if we can get him going. Uh-oh, camo balloons. He's decamoing a lot of them. Some of them are not getting decamoed. But, oh, take them down. Nice and slow, though. Nice and slow. And I think we should get our $6,000 here. We should get Apache Prime up. And life is going to be good. Plus, de-regenification. Oh, it's actually a little bit of lightning action heading up, too. Maybe the lightning did a little bit of de-regenification. Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe I'll take that all that back, what I was talking about earlier. But any which way, here we go. $600 bucks. We're gonna get it, we need it for round 80. That's the thing. And we get it up. Now, this is all without getting a cross path on my heli pallet. And I did that for a reason. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to go for. And I think I've made the decision. I think screw DDTs, bro. Screw DDTs. We're going for the damage. Boom, boom. There it is. We're gonna hope that this guy deals with DDTs, and this guy can deal with DDTs. Now, you're noticing that I'm kind of leaving one tower out here. And it's because, based on just being on round 81 and not having, and just barely getting one 5th-tier tower, we're not getting all four. So we have to decide to wipe one off the board, and I decided I think the best bet for us is probably this guy. First of all, this upgrade does pretty much nothing for us. It's not going to be absorbing that many ceramics at this point, and we don't get to make any extra cash. So it's a great, great, great tower. But for our chimps run right now, probably the worst option by a landslide. All right, which is the unfortunate part. Every other game mode, oh, Spirit of the Force is delish. Not today, not today. And then Prince of Darkness is just straight up delicious, totally worth to go for, and a need for that DD popping power. And then I just feel like Master Bomber is just a good guy to go for, even without getting a bunch of Shinobis around him. He should just be good, or at least good enough for us. So anyways, that's the basic game plan. Now we got to talk about Chris's dream. Now I've had like I was saying earlier, I've had a lot of weird dreams in my life. I mean, one of them I remember. I don't want to get too much details here, but I remember like walking into a cave. There's a lot of weird things going on inside of this cave. Like there was camels and this weird safari guy who was just kind of fighting with me. I'm pretty sure Batman was inside of the cave, but I don't remember anymore because it was a really long time ago. And I remember like the big like, you know how there's like a rising event of like all movies and things like that. I feel like a lot of my dreams are sort of like movies where there's like a rising event and eventually there's like the climax, right? And the climax for me was this guy telling me that he's a Democrat. I don't know why, but that was the climax. Like it was, oh my god, ridiculous. I cannot believe it. But any which way, I've also had another dream about zombies and cotton spores and Superman and Batman and like a lot of weird things going on in that one. Oh boy, my dreams can get crazy sometimes. But recently, I have not had that many dreams. I really have to wake up like in the morning, like 5 or 6 o'clock, and then go back to sleep for another hour or two. And that's when I can remember my dreams. And I don't often wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning and actually be able to go back to sleep. I normally just wake up at that point, if I do wake up early. But anyways, I had a dream that I was either friends with or hired by Linus Tech Tips. Now, Linus is the only YouTube channel that I've, like, pretty consistently watch. I wouldn't say that I'm religious and watch every single video, but I'd say I'd watch like 50% of his videos. I watched some other, oh crap. Get it. Yes. Okay, so that was around 90. I'm really hoping I can save up the money for Master Bomber before round 93. If not, I'm really hoping this guy's going to be enough to cut through round 93. Worst case scenario, I'm going to jump in and buy the pod if those guys don't take him down, but I have to be very, very cautious about this because, again, if I end up losing here. My black chimp level's gone. I've been good about it. But I was either hired or... I'm pretty sure I was hired because I remember I just watched this show called Silicon Valley, and there was this guy named Big Head who just always falls upwards. Like, literally. He falls... No matter what happens to him, like, crappy things happen, and the next thing, it's like, oh, well, that happened, which led to something amazing happening, right? But this is going to be really tight. We need, like, $3,000 here. Like, now. Like, now. Which I don't think is going to happen. Also, I could follow mouse this guy. He's on pursuit right now. But anyway, I felt kind of like that, where people are like, what are you doing here? Like, why would you get this job? And I'm like, I don't freaking know. Linus likes me, I guess. And they're like, what are you getting paid? And I'm like, well, we're making a lot more money than you would have thought. It's like, oh, crap. It's like, and it was actually a thought in my head, because it was like, ooh, my YouTube channel could fail at any point, right? Well, get hired by Linus Tech Tips, I guess. It worked out perfectly in my brain. So, any which way, somehow we're like sitting around the dinner table, and it's like just a regular old like dining room table, and we kind of like appear in a house somehow. And I don't remember what the name of Linus's wife is. I think it's like Yvonne or something like that. I have no idea how to spell that. But Amanda, my wife, and her got in a big fight about something. All right, I don't know what it was about, but I just remember thinking like, oh yeah, Amanda's definitely right here. Like, screw Yvonne. But then like I look at Linus and we're just like, girls, man, pfft, lame-o, lame sauce. But for some reason, they got to fight, and, ooh, guess what? Master Bomber, 4 round 93. Delish. And I still get a pod, 4 round 100, and hopefully that's enough. I'm also going to move this guy to strong at this point. And I still have to watch out for DDTs, I guess, because this is still kind of dangerous. We do have to rely on the decamization here to actually do stuff. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm probably going to end up jungle drumsing. I think I'm going to pod... You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to jungle drums first, and then I'm going to get pod. I think I'll have enough money. I think I'll have enough money. Boom, boom. I'm going to save up the pod. Just 25,000. It seems reasonable to afford here. But this is going to be important for us. 15% extra attack speed on everybody is pretty important. So they got in a huge fight. Me and Linus were, like, getting along. We're having a great time. Somehow, I guess more employees did not like me. They did not like what I was doing with everything, pretty much, and they were kind of upset with me, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, bro. So I felt like I just kept failing everybody, basically. All right, here we go. We got to do a jump. Yes. I'm also going to buy the camera detection here, and I'm also going to use Sada's ability here, and this is going to be close. This is going to be really freaking tight. Like, really freaking tight. But it looks like, whoa, 95 is taken down. I don't know how much that camo detection last second here saved us, but the black chimps medal is still alive because of that, possibly. And now the only thing we have to worry about is obviously round 99, and I'm hoping that the Master Bomber is just going to clean up round 99 pretty good, because round 95 you're just sort of overwhelmed with everything. Hopefully we'll get pop at that point, though. That would be delicious. Round 98 does give a lot of money. And regular balloons, no big deal. We got them covered. Even round 98, I'm not really that afraid. Maybe a tiny bit. Just a little bit. It's always still round 98. Oh, man, I don't have enough time to tell the rest of my dream here. But eventually they're like, Chris, did you get your uniform yet? I'm like, oh, no, I didn't get my freaking uniform. So they give me to this guy, and they're like, hey, you gotta find this guy, and he's going to give you your uniform. Like, okay, great. So I'm, like, looking around, and I eventually find the guy, and as soon as I see him, we like, see eye to eye for 1 second, and he just looks at me one more time, and then he just takes off running. Oh, crap, I got to get him. So I start running. As fast as I possibly can, trying to chase this guy down. And, when I'm saying like I'm chasing this guy down, we're like running through houses and like running over here. We're like doing weird parkour and things like that. Like it gets pretty intense. I'm gonna get this guy, and he's like throwing things at me and stuff. Eventually, I catch him. I catch him in this like weird garage type area. Oh dang, this is gonna be really close. I don't know if we make $8,000 on round 98. Maybe, but I need it, man. I freaking need it. All right, I am going to try to save my abilities. I would love to save my abilities. Things are still going good enough. It's a slow process, so yeah, patchy problem, bro. Let him do his work. We want to make the money, though. Eventually, I catch him. Exactly like a movie, man. Like I said, my dreams end up being somewhat movie-like. Eventually catch him, and he's like, okay, here's your uniform, bro. I give up. You can have it. I'm like, great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oh, my God. I really would like a pod right now. Really like a pod right now. Pod it up, baby! I honestly cannot thank you guys enough for using my creator support code. It really does mean a lot. I wish I could say thank you more. I wish I could give you guys everything in the world, but all I can do is say thank you. So, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Straight up. All right, so now we're going to build up our graveyard here on round 98, which is delicious because now I've got round 99. We're going to push the pot up just a tiny bit here for 1 second. I'm going to use both abilities here with Zada. I do not want to lose to round 99 this late in the game. That would just be brutal. Ready to jump. Once all the DTs are on the screen, actually, you know what? We're too dominant. Did not matter whatsoever. Push it up a little bit. Let this graveyard actually do something to the bad balloon here. It doesn't need to do a ton of damage, but if it's doing 1,000 or 2,000, that could be good enough. We're also going to use our sword charge because I think I'm going to get it back in time because this is going to be a long process. This is going to be a long bad here. Whew, look at Apache Prime. 1.5 million pops so far. Redonkulous. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell my entire dream in time, but eventually I get my uniform up and I like go back and like try to talk to Linus about like what we're going to do and everything. And he's like, it's time. Do you have the tools? And I'm like, sure. And I'm like pretending like I know what I'm doing, but I don't. I don't know what I'm doing. And oh yes, this is DDT problem territory here. Okay. Oh, this could work out. One Moab is enough. And all we gotta do is 2 Oh My Gods here. We should be good, especially with some stun action here. And they take me to a raft, like no joke, like a regular old raft, and really like jump on this raging frickin' river, dude. So look at this. All right, I don't know how long we're gonna survive here, but I'm gonna finish the dream no matter what. I'm just gonna see where it leads us and hope for the best. And I'm also gonna move the pod back up to here. And I jump on this like raging raft water thing, and it's like super scary. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like this is tech tips, bro. Why do we gotta get on a freaking raft right now? And like, do you have the tools? And I'm like, I like feel around in my new uniform, and I've got 2 things. No joke. I've got and hopefully I don't get demonetized for this, but I've got 1 razor blade. Not like a razor, like 1 razor blade, an individual razor blade. And I've got a gun. Don't know what kind of gun, couldn't tell you, but it's a gun. And so I'm like, oh crap, and I like hit it back in my pocket. I'm like, am I allowed to have this? And he's like, you're gonna need it. I'm like, what? Okay. I'm like, okay, let's go, I guess. All right, this is a little trippy and a little creepy, but okay. So we get on the raft, we're like riding for a little bit, and they're like, be careful. And it turns into like sort of a video game-esque type deal, where like, I don't really know what's going on, but like everything around us is very swampy and creepy and everything, and it's getting sort of dark at this point. And this big, gigantic monster pops out of the water. It gets frickin' Carl. I don't even know who Carl is, okay? But Carl, he gets dragged underwater, and he's like popping up and like trying to like get out and everything. I'm like, oh my god, Carl! And everybody's yelling, Carl! And they're like, Chris, get Carl! And I'm like, okay, I got him. So I basically jump, like dive almost in the water. I'm like still on the raft. And I like grab this guy and I like pull him up, and they're like, oh, he's infected. And I'm like, oh crap. And they're like, what should we do? And I'm like, and I forget who says it, but they're like, maybe you should take him out. I'm like, okay. So then I take out my razor blade, and I have to kill this guy with I have to cut off his head with a razor blade. So that was awful, obviously. Have you ever, like, can you imagine? Yeah, I had to deal with that, all right, in my dream. Now he's, of course, infected and sort of zombie-like at this point, but he's still a human, and he's still alive, and I have to cut off his head. Yeah, you heard that right. Heard it straight from Chris's mouth here. All right, we're gonna use both of our abilities just to kind of try to clean these up. I don't know, man. We're still surviving. Just kind of weird. They are good towers. Like, just to be straight, they're solid across the board here, man. Life is pretty good. We're gonna move this guy back again because the balloons are getting pretty far back here. The next thing that happens, though, is we're, like, back on this frickin' raft, and right away, gives me no break, a frickin' ghoul pops out. Now, what happens is, I think, I don't know. I watched this South Park episode where this guy was basically a witch, and it looked almost exactly like that. It was like a witch-ghoul combo, sort of ghost-like and stuff like that. And he pops out, and they're like, the gun! Chris, you're the only one with the gun. Of course, they give the new guy the gun, right? So then I take the shot out, I take the gun out, I'm like ready, I aim my shot at the ghoul. He's coming right at me. He's flying, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. He's flying, and he's coming right at me, and I take the shot, and I wake up. And that was my dream. It was pretty wild, man. It was pretty wild. It started off just me getting a new job, and it turned out with me having to murder people. I guess not necessarily murder people, but take people out because they're infected. They're infected. It's part of the better good. Okay, it's for the good of the people. And shooting ghouls and stuff. You know, it's just I've never shot a gun in my life, by the way, which is kind of interesting. And that happened. So anyways, that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. If you enjoyed using your guys' coolest, best designed, most awesome towers in the game, you know what? just for some giggles, let's see if we can save up for Spirit of the Forest. I'm going to wait it out. But really quickly, I just wanted to mention that I actually did not micro at all this game. I used Heli Pallet on Pursuit the entire time, but I could have done better if I microed. And the best way to micro is making sure the Apache Dart Chip is doing his best thing, which is popping Moab class balloons. So you want to aim the Zoma Gods and the highest tier balloons and let the other towers kind of take care of the rest. That's what I'm doing now, and it's working out significantly better than before, but it's still around 108 at this point. That's a lot of balloons and a lot of crap to have to deal with here, so I still cannot guarantee that I'm going to win here, even though I'm giving it my darndest. Just to say we did it! Spirit of the Forest before we lose! No, we're still doming. We're still doming. We're dominating these balloons, man. How far can we go now? I feel like we're too deep at this point. We have to see how high we can go. Oh my god, look at all these DDTs, bro. Look at all these DDTs. If there's going to be something that kills this, it's got to be this, right? Oh, there it is! Wait a sec. Oh, wait a sec. Still alive! Unbelievable. Oh, there's even more DDTs on round 118. Oh boy. Okay, that's it. That's it. We don't have abilities this time. Oh, that was good, man. 118 with these 4 times. We had $38,000 saved up too. That's enough for a bunch of Shinobis. We had 4 million pops with our Apache Dart Chip. Pod had 1 million. This guy had less than 1 million. Spirit of the Forest, even though we only existed for a little while, over 1 million. That's ridiculous. That actually kind of upsets me a little bit. Shows you how much you need those Shinobi ninjas. And then Sauda with 1 million. It's kind of weird how everybody got like right around 1 million, except for this guy had 4 million. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you press that like button. Make sure you subscribe, and of course, have a super duper delicious day.